Very good morning, my dear children. Welcome to the YouTube channel H2O Chemistry. I am Satya Narayanan, your chemistry teacher. In our last video, we have learned about the classification of elements, metals, non-metals, and metalloids, and differentiation and the comparison of the properties of metals and non-metals. In this video, we are going to learn the portion called non-metals. Okay, what is meant by non-metals? It says non-metal. You can see non-metal. So the properties of metal is not applicable. In fact, the opposite properties of metals, if any element possesses, we call it as a non-metal. So the properties of elements which are opposite of metals are called non-metals. So in our previous video we have learned that elements that generally have the following property are called non-metals. We will see what are the properties. It's just opposite to that of metals. So they exist in the form of liquid, solid, and a gas. You could see the picture of sulfur here. It's a yellow color substance, and the well-known carbon, charcoal. It's a solid. Bromine is a liquid, and gas, they can say hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, all are gases. They are not hard. Definitely yes, if you can break it easily. So you can break the charcoal very easily. So all the substance of non-metals are like that. All the non-metals are like that, except one, diamond. The other general properties are non-leisure. That means they are not very shining, non-sonorous. They do not produce sound when they dash each other. Non-malleable. They cannot be drawn into sheets or beaten into sheets. Non-ductile. They cannot drawn into wires. They do have a less density, because when you weigh a charcoal, for this volume you will find less mass. That indicates it consists of less density, and they do not have a high tensile strength. So the weight that object holds is called tensile strength. So they do not have, that means they have a less tensile strength, low melting and boiling point, and poor conductor of heat and electricity. So any element that has these properties we call non-metals. We call non-metals. So that the properties you should understand first before we go into the next topic. Now let's go to the uses of non-metals. Application of carbon in the form of diamond and graphite. So you could see the diamond picture here and graphite picture at the end. So what is diamond is used? What for it is used? Diamond in the form of carbon is used making jewels. You could see the picture. We use diamond in rings, necklace, and cutting and grinding equipments. You could see the cutting tools you could see here. So these are used in the cut the very strong MS steels. Similarly, it's used in the grinding equipments. You could see the grinding equipments. This grinding plate is made up of diamond. It's a form of diamond. The next one, graphite, is used in making pencil lead. So this is a graphite is used in the pencil tip. So this is the uses about carbon, and next we will go to the chlorine. So chlorine powder we know very well. So it is used as a bleaching agent. First of all, I just want to say something about this chlorine. Chlorine is a poisonous gas. You could see the picture here. So there's a very warning signal is given here. So it's a very, very poisonous gas. If anyone inhale it, it can lead to death. So you could see the operator wearing mask here is separately designed to filter out the chlorine. So whenever we handle chlorine, so we used to have this mask. productive mask. So what is other thing about chlorine? So chlorine is used as a bleaching agent. You could see in our home we are using it, in hospitals we are use bleaching agent, and in sterilizing water you could see the tablets which is used in the swimming pools. So that is sterilizing water, so it kills all the bacteria, viruses in the water, so that we are not being infected. For that we use this chlorine. So let us move on to the next application of non-metal, that is application of hydrogen. So very well known, very interesting element. It's present in the first it's present in the first place in the periodic table. Why it is so important? Because nowadays we use petrol, diesel, which are non-renewable source of energy. Remember, it won't last long. So what is the alternative? We can use hydrogen as a fuel. You could say hydrogen as a fuel. Hydrogen clearly bonds and completely bonds into a water, whereas our fossil fuels, what we use nowadays, coal, petrol, diesel, all will produce carbon dioxide. So that is it is not environmental friendly, whereas the hydrogen can be an environmental friendly fuel. So we could use this. Nowadays the hydrogen is used as a rocket fuel, liquid hydrogen. You could see here in this picture, the liquid hydrogen is used in this area of the rocket, so that the initial combustion takes place in the bottom compartment and it can push off against the gravity. So this is a liquid hydrogen is used as a rocket fuel, and hydrogen flames used for cutting and welding process. You could see hydrogen cut this. Yes, it does. The hydrogen gas flames cut the chains. And what is the next one? As well as reducing agents. What do you mean by reducing agents? Okay, before I explain this, everyone should know about the term reduction and oxidation. Okay, let us see. Addition of oxygen is called oxidation. Very simple definition. Addition of oxygen. You could see in this equation, copper oxide reacts with hydrogen gas to give copper plus water. So in this oxygen is added to hydrogen. So hydrogen is added in the oxygen is added in the hydrogen. So it is an oxidation reaction. So you could see oxidation reaction. Whereas removal of oxygen is called reduction. You could see the copper oxide, copper 2 oxide is losing oxygen, so removal of oxygen takes place, so this process is called reduction. Okay, it says about reducing agent. So what is called reducing agent? The agent which is responsible for the reduction. Okay, what is called reduction? Removal of oxygen is called reduction. So copper oxide has oxygen. This oxygen is removed by this hydrogen. So the hydrogen is responsible for this oxygen removal from this copper oxide. So this is an agent. So hydrogen is an agent. Hydrogen used as a agent to do the reduction process in this equation. So in this chemical reaction, so the hydrogen is act as a reducing agent. So very simple idea. So in many reactions, hydrogen act as a reducing agent. Next one, application of nitrogen. So it's another interesting element. We have plenty in our atmosphere. Nitrogen is used, is used for preparing ammonia. It's a very important gas, NH3 we call, by the process called Haber process. You could see the scientist Haber here. Now he has taken atmospheric nitrogen and hydrogen, and he has reacted together in the volume of 1:3 by volume, and when you maintain this pressure and temperature and the catalyst, ion catalyst, these two combines to form ammonia, NH3. So this is a very important process. You could read this a small introduction about this process, and previously this ammonia is used for urea preparation, fertilizer, to make nitrogen content in the soil, whereas nowadays it is used in the gunpowder and high explosives. So even this statement says Germany would not have fought the war, or would have had to surrender years earlier if this process was not there. So if Haber process was not there, the World War I might have stopped. So that is the understanding you should have. Now this is a very important process in preparing, even nowadays, preparing ammonia. So which is mainly used for preparing urea. It's a fertilizer. Next we'll go to the next one, application of phosphorus. So we know in day-to-day life we use phosphorus in the matchsticks, right? Yeah, you could see there are three types of phosphorus we have. White phosphorus and red phosphorus and black phosphorus. We have a three type of phosphorus we have. So we use in the matchsticks, so we know very well about it. Now, so we'll see some interesting about the matchsticks. So what is potassium chlorate, a main ingredient in the heads of safety matches, right? It's a potassium chlorate along with phosphorus sesquily sulfide and antimony sulfide. So this is a combination we have in the match head. And then the match box, the striking surface safety match box contains red phosphorus and abrasive substance which struck a small amount of white phosphorus is produced, which ignites. So that's what happens. So when you scratch, immediately the match stick catches fire with the match box because of these two reactions. We'll see how this match work. The composition of match varies, depends upon the type, but the safety measures are most commonly used. They contain strong oxidizing agent in the match head and the red phosphorus in the striking surface. Striking the match causes a small amount of oxidizer and phosphorus to combine. The heat generated by this friction of a striking causes them to ignite. So this is what happens in your matchbox. So learn more about this matchbox. It's an everyday scenario. Learn it. Now, the another one, it is used in the rat poison. You could see the picture, the phosphorus is the most effective rat poison, never fails. So even from olden times, even in 19th century, we are using this. And say if I had to use where animals have access, only kill rats. So you could see it is used in the phosphorus used in the rat poison. Next one, we'll go for sulfur. Sulfur is another non-metal which is an yellow color solid, and sulfur is used in the manufacture of gunpowder and vulcanization of rubber. You could see it's a sulfur, it's a combination charcoal, saltpeter and sulfur here. So it is used as a combination. If you use this material, you could see gunpowder it is, and then it is used in the vulcanization of rubber. You could see they just do the vulcanization process here. You could see that process. The sulfur is used in this process. Now these are the small uses of non-metals. See, each and every element in our day-to-day life, we are using it unknowingly. I hope this session is clear and you might have understand the concepts and applications easily. Do subscribe for more videos. The chemistry concepts easily taught here. Thank you so much.